The holidays are coming up, and if you're anything like me, you like to do things very creatively. So, why not start with Christmas ornaments? In this video, I'm going to show you how to take something as simple as a 3x3 wooden circle and make a beautiful Christmas ornament. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get to it. Hi everyone, I'm Vanessa S of By Vanessa S. Welcome to my channel, and if you have been here before, welcome back to my channel. I know it's just August, okay? But I was in Michael's, and as I was walking around, I saw this package of 6 circles made of wood, and inspiration just hit. I said, these could be Christmas ornaments. So what did I do? I purchased 2 packs and I came home and got to work. And so in this video, I'm going to show you how to make these beautiful ornaments. They're so easy to make and you can be creative. And of course, I use my Cricut Maker 3 along with some vinyl, some stencil, acrylic paint. I'm telling you everything I use, some twine and some glitter and glue. And you know the best part of this project, not only is it inexpensive to make, but this is something that you can do with your children if you have children, or something you can do with your friends. You can also give them away as gifts, ornament exchanges. I mean, the possibilities are endless. It's just something that's fun to do. So, you ready? Let me show you how I did it. For this project, there's a couple of things that you're going to need, actually more than a couple. First, you're going to need the 3x3 round wood circles. I get these at Michael's, and it comes 6 in a pack, and it's about $2.99. If you have a coupon, it's a little less than that. Of course, paint. For this project, I'm using green, white, gold, and holiday red. You'll need stencil, twine, of course paint brushes, and you know I use the yogurt cups. I wash them out really well and I use yogurt cups to put my paint in, and then after I use them I just dispose of them, and of course some gloves. You'll also need some glue. I use Mod Podge and whatever color glitter that you want to use, whatever suits you. The first thing we're going to do is paint these little circles. Now I like these little wooden circles because they're so versatile. A lot of things that you can do with them. So like there's 6 in a pack. I have one that I painted for a baby shower. I'm going to paint over this one. Okay, so you don't need to see me paint, so I'll just move along from the painting. But to start, I'll put my gloves on. And I just take a different paint. Of course, you want to shake them up really good. Take a different paint and put a little in there. The reason why I love these is because after I'm finished with the paint, if there's leftover paint in them, I can always pour them back. I don't have a lot of white, so I won't be painting too many with white, but I like the cups because it gives me more access to the paint. There's the white, red, All right. Move these things out the way. All right. And so here I have it. And as I need more, I can just, fill them back up. So because I'm painting over this one and it's already a dark color, I'm going to paint this one gold. Again, it doesn't have to be neat. I'm just painting over them. And then as I paint over them, and I'll put enough on here to give it the color that I want. Okay. And then just set them to the side. Do this one. Okay, so as you can see, the discs are painted on both sides. They're completely dry. I let them dry overnight. It's not necessary to let them dry overnight, but when I'm dealing with stencil, I really like for them to be dry, so that I don't run the risk of paint coming off or something like that. So all of this are done. So now I've already also cut out my stencils that I'm going to use. So I'm going to pull them away from their backing, and then I'm going to put the stencils onto the little wooden circles. Now that I have all of the stencils cut out, I'll start putting them on. Now some I've already put on and I just have to paint a glitter. Others I need to transfer on. Like this one, I need to transfer it on, so I'll use transfer tape to transfer it onto the wooden. So I will go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so let's have some fun now and do some actual painting or whatever we're going to do. But so there's two different ways that I did the stenciling for this. So for instance, this one, right? I used the actual stencil for this, and then what I'll do is I'll paint over it, and whatever I painted, that's the color that whatever color I paint, that's what's going to come out here. And this is a two-part, because once I lift this after it dries, then I still have to add this, right? Which is one of the machines. Okay. But then there's this type of stenciling. Notice that everything is all filled in, right? Now, if you notice, I think you can see like there's decoration in here, right? So once I paint over it, and when I lift it, then I'm going to have the snowman in this one. It's going to be the shape, right? And then I will paint over these little slots here, these other little things, right? The little decoration, scarf and everything. And then it'll be a different color. Okay. So there's the two different type of, ways to do the stenciling. One, you can stencil in like this one. You're stenciling in, coloring in side the wording or the decoration. On this one, you're covering over it, and whenever you lift it, the color that's underneath it. So that's what I'm going to do. So something I wanted to mention before I got started is one thing about stencil, especially Cricut Stencil. Cricut Stencil is very thin, and so if you try to paint across it, or even with a sponge dab it, it tends to bleed. So what I like to do is I'll take just a regular paper towel that is absorbent, and just take a little bit of the paint, and then just dab like that. This way I can control it and less room for it to run. Well, okay, so as you can see, I've started with the decorating of them with the stencils, right? And for some, like I told you before, the Cricut stencil is kind of thin, and so it can bleed, and it did. Okay, but this is an easy fix, and all you need is the same color paint as the background, which right now I don't have any gold. I have to get some, but it's an easy fix. It's not all is lost, right? But what I wanted to do is this. So as you can see, I have painted in this part. This is the part I want to paint it in. But this part here, all I want for Christmas is I want it to be glitter. And so this project is extremely fast. It's quick. But if you're layering, like I'm layering, it does take a little bit more time. And so I want to get this project done by the weekend. And there's still a couple more steps to it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this glitter done today. Now with the glitter, all you're doing is taking the Mod Podge. You are painting over the wording. Okay, in this case this. And then of course you're going to drain the glitter. Okay, and then you're just going to let it dry. And that's literally all you have to do. Now, I don't think you really want to see me do this, but I'm going to go ahead and do one anyway. Well, just because. Why not? It's fun, right? And this one I'm going to show you next time what I'm doing to it. Because it's a layer also, but it's just a layer with paint. So it's a different kind of a layer. Let's move these out the way. So far, I'm pretty happy with the way they're coming out. Like I said, that bleed, that's always a problem. I tend to like to use removable vinyl more than I like using the stencil, but I have some and I want to use it, so I might as well. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little bit. I'm going to start with this one because it's the closest to me. You just want to take a little bit and put it on the lettering, just like you would do anything else. The stencil, take the stencil. Sorry about that. I hate working in the garage. Sometimes it's hot. There's mosquitoes and gnats, but okay. So you do that. You want to make sure that you get it fully covered. And you're just covering the wording. That's all you want to cover is the wording. All right. Move this over here. I'm just going to do it one at a time, because I'm just going to show you what I'm doing. So I'm using, use this white stencil. I'm sorry, I call it stencil. I'm going to use this white glitter. I have two different types of white glitter. I'm going to use this one for this one. And just pour it over. You don't necessarily have to drench it, but just pour it over until you're satisfied. Okay. You shouldn't have to worry about it, the glitter getting on any other part, because you're just glittering the part that you actually put glue on. Okay. We'll do a little bit more. Absorb some more. And then I'm going to tap the excess off. And then I'm going to remove and there you have it. That's what it looks like. And so as part of the layering, I still have to put the little machine there. But this is what we have for right now. Now, notice here where there's a little bit of glumping. That's easy fix too. You don't have to really worry about that. That's an easy fix. You can just, push it off. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of them, and I'll be back later. Alrighty, so now as you can see, all the ornaments have been decorated, painted, stenciled. I decided to use vinyl for the machines, and I like the way the white paint pops, so I decided instead of using glitter just to use the paint. I just like the way it looks better. So they're all done now, and as you can see, they're pretty raw, right? And the next step, I'm going to just coat them. They're wood. I'm just going to coat them. So I was going to put resin on them, but I decided instead of doing that just to do something else. So I'm going to take this polyacrylic protective finish, and I'm going to put a couple of coats on it. I like to be able to control stuff. So like I have this bottle, I put the acrylic in here, the polyacrylic in here, and then I just pour it on and then just paint it. You want to make sure though that whatever it is secure, and you definitely want to give it a little bit of a shake, right? Okay, and I just pour a little bit on and then just brush it. That's actually a lot, but you know what? Wood has a tendency to just kind of absorb stuff. So I'm just gonna, and that's really all you have to do, just like that. And you can put as many coats as you want. I normally just put two coats. I let it dry and then put another coat. And it only takes about 30 minutes to dry, and then I just let them sit. And then that's it for this step. And of course, I would do both sides. Just want to do it just like that. And it just gives it a nice little shine, and it protects it, so you can use them over a period of time and not just once. Yes, so the polyacrylic came out beautifully. Nice shine on it. It gives it a nice stability to it. Not overbearing, not too glossy. It's just nice. It just came out nicely. And so now we are at the very last step in this project. Now I have here some twine, some rope, and I've already cut them. And because these are wood, I wanted to keep the integrity of the theme, with it being wood and everything. And so I really like this. I got this at Michael's. I've used it, and it's really sturdy, but it's really pretty. I don't know if you can, let me see if I can get you to see. It has little gold specks in it, like little gold, right? And I just think that will go nicely with these. So I've cut these out to the length that I want to hang them. Now, the last step is to add this rope to these. Now, there's two ways to do it. I'm using Mod Podge. There's two ways to do this when you're actually putting this rope on. So you can either, so you could do it two ways. So you can put the rope on the sides. I have to keep getting up to see, make sure you can see. You can put the rope on the sides, or you can put it in the back, right? Now, if you're planning on using, I only did one side of these. So, but if you're planning on using both sides, you want to, whatever your design is, you want to make sure that you leave room up here for the rope. Or if you do it on the sides, it doesn't matter. So in my case, I'm going to do it both ways, on the side and on the back, just to show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to take a little bit of the Mod Podge, and I'm just going to put it around the sides. And you want to get the Mod Podge that that dries clear, right? You don't want white gumpy stuff. So like I said, on this one I'm going to put it on around the sides, and then I'm going to take the twine or the rope cording, whatever they're calling, you want to call it. All right, I'm just going to put my finger on it. You don't, oh, you know what I did? Okay, and I don't know why I did that, but I think it's just habit. But you only really need it on two of the sides, like the left and the right side. You don't need it at the top, which I just did, so pardon. But anyway, and you just want to hold it down. Put some more on this side. Where I want the rope to go. And then just hold it down. It's a little trickier when it's on the sides, and that's how you would do it. You would just take it, make sure that you have it evenly distributed. The twine, you want the twine easily distributed, so when you hang it, it's hanging this way, and you can hang it and it's centered. But you just want to put the rope on the glue, and then after you put the rope on the glue, just hold it down for a few seconds to help it set, and then all you have to do is just sit it down and let it set. Let me sit this over here, and then I'll do the rest of them. So the other one, like I was saying, you can do it if you're not planning on using the back. I am going to go back and do the rest of these in the back, but you can just do the same thing. Put your glue in the back like this. And you don't need a lot. A lot of people tend to think that you need a whole bunch. You don't need a whole bunch. You just need to put enough on. Make sure it's the right side up. I'm glad I caught that. But you just need enough so that it can hang like you want it to hang. So if you're going to do the back, that's how you want the back to hang. We'll do it like that. I would still put it kind of on the sides of each other. You could do it this way as well, however works for you. Put it on the sides, hold it down. That's how you want it to hang, and then let it dry. I'm going to do the rest of these, and of course I'll be back. Okay, so one last thing I want to show you while my ornaments are drying. This one. I noticed this one says let it snow, and it has just this one snowflake, and it's just kind of textured. Okay, that was done purposely, because what you can do, especially if you want to reuse your ornaments year after year, you can use Cricut removable vinyl. And so you can put any kind of design on here that you want, and then remove it, and then use it again to put something else there. So using the removable vinyl. And so this gives you the space to do that. And you know, you can put whatever you want on here, but if you put, and yes, put the polyacrylic on, you can put the polyacrylic on it and set it, but having the space available on the ornament, you can use removable vinyl and then decorate it each year however you want to. So that's just a bonus tip for you.